Hello and welcome everyone to virtual classes by Anisha. I am Anisha. So today in this video we are going to start a new chapter, that is major domains of the earth, and this is the fifth chapter of your geography, okay, of class 6. So here we are going to learn, so in this chapter basically we are going to learn so many things, okay, like for example the major domains of the earth, that is the lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. That means the land, air and water, okay. And apart from this we are also going to learn under this land, we are going to learn about the continents, about the continents, okay. And under atmosphere we are going to learn about the layers of atmosphere, and under hydrosphere we are going to learn about the oceans, okay, the various oceans we have, the major oceans that we have, the major oceans of the world. So that is why this chapter name is the major domains of the earth, okay. These are the major domains. What are those? Lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere, and all these, okay, combining all these, there is one more major domain, that is the biosphere, where life is possible. So here in this chapter, see, as this is the class 6th geography, so here you will get the basic information, basic knowledge about the basic foundation about these domains. And further when you go on your higher classes, that is on 7th, then there you will learn in more details, okay. You will learn in more details about this lithosphere, about this atmosphere and hydrosphere. So here we are going to see mostly about the continents and oceans and the layers of the ocean, layers of the atmosphere, okay. So let us start without wasting any time. As you have read in the first chapter, the earth is the only planet which has life. We know that, isn't it? All of us know that earth is the only planet that we have which has life, because in the solar system that we have learned, all the other planets, the life is not possible over there, but in earth life is possible. Why? Because in earth we have land, water and air, and this is very much necessary for a living organism. So that is why earth is only the planet which has life, and human beings can live here because the life sustaining elements like land, water and air are present on the earth. So this the reason I have told you also. Human being can live here, can sustain here. Not only human beings, all the other living organisms can live here only because all the living organisms, okay, they need land, water and air. Because if there is no land, how are we going to live? Like, as we are not bird, we cannot fly, isn't it? So as a human being, we need land as well, we need water and air. So the surface of the earth is a complex zone, okay, in which three main components of environment meet, overlap and interact. What are the three main components? That is the lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. See how they meet, how they overlap and how they interact, I'll explain you, okay. The solid portion of the earth on which we live is called the lithosphere, okay. These are the three components. And the gaseous layer that surrounds the earth is the atmosphere, and where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. And water covers a very big area of the earth's surface, and this area is called hydrosphere. And the hydrosphere comprises water in all its form, that is ice, water and water vapor. See, these are the three major domains or three major components of our environment of the earth, okay. And they meet, overlap and interact. That means, say, inland we live in land, isn't it? Human beings, suppose for example this is you, okay, this imagine this as yourself, and here you are standing besides a lake, okay, or a river. Let us say that this is a river, and here you are standing on where? You are standing on land, and here there is the water, isn't it? That is the hydrosphere. You can say the which comes under hydrosphere, isn't it? River is also one form of hydrosphere. And here everywhere, air is everywhere, isn't it? Atmosphere is everywhere and air. So all these three, you need all these three, isn't it, to live. And you can standing on land, you are standing here on the which is in the land, and river is water, water is here and air is here. All of them interact, isn't it? They overlap as well and they meet as well, isn't it? So this is what these lines means. I hope you have understood. So here what you need to remember, the solid portion of the earth, that is the land, is the lithosphere. The gaseous layer, that is the atmosphere. Atmosphere, we have that oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, all these are atmosphere, which is air, okay. And lastly the water bodies, that is the hydrosphere. So land, air and water, you can remember in that way, okay. So these are the major domains of our earth. And the biosphere is the narrow zone where we find land, water and air together. See, the explanation that I have just done here. You are sending here, this is a one person, isn't it? And there is a river also, there is atmosphere also. So all of them meet together, isn't it? So, and because of all these things, the life is possible, isn't it? And that domain, that narrow zone, that is known as the biosphere. Bio means life, okay? So which contains all form of life, that is plant life or animal life. It is also divided into plant kingdom and animal kingdom, okay? So let us see here in the box some information is given about the word origin. So in the Greek language, lithos here, lithos, okay, means stone, land, isn't it? Stone. And admos means vapor. Here air means vapor, admos. And hudor, that is this hydrosphere, okay, means water. And bios means life, okay? So in this way these words are originated. So now let us see about the lithosphere, okay, what we have under lithosphere. So lithosphere is the land, isn't it? The land mass. And so about the land we are going to study here. So the solid portion of the earth is called the lithosphere. It comprises the rocks of the earth crust and the thin layers of soil that contains nutrients, elements which sustains organisms. See, lithosphere is the land portion, isn't it? So this is the land, isn't it? So this here you this is the land portion of the earth, let us say, and here you will find rock, isn't it? So this is the thin layer of that earth crust, okay, earth crust, where you will find again soil is here, isn't it? And soil are full of what? Full of nutrients, isn't it? Because we need soil to, when you are planting any trees or planting any vegetation or vegetable or anything, nutrients is needed. Otherwise if there are no nutrients, then they will not grow, isn't it? So these nutrients are necessary, and all those nutrients are present where? Inside the soil. So you will learn about this thing in more detail in your higher classes, okay? Here only a basic information is been given, all right? So as for now, what you need to know, that this landmass, okay, this landmass, it comprise of what? We have rocks, and this is the earth crust, isn't it? And a thin layer of soil is there. And about the details of these layers of soil you will learn more in your higher classes, okay? And that contains nutrients which is essential for the growth of the living organisms, plants and other vegetations, okay? And so which sustains organisms. See, because we need to eat, isn't it? And we eat through vegetations, through plants, fruits and all we need. So that is why it sustains organisms. So these nutrients are very much important, which are present in the layers of the soil. So there are again division, okay, of these land masses. There are two main division of the earth's surface. The large land masses are known as the continents, and the huge water bodies are called the ocean bases. See, why ocean comes under lithosphere? See here, these are being divided into two major portion, okay? That is, first is the continent, the land mass which is visible, isn't it? Which is visible. And the huge water bodies are called ocean bases. See, under ocean also, see, suppose this is the land and here one ocean comes. So here this is filled with water, isn't it? So here deep down in the ocean belt, you say, or we used to call ocean belt also, okay, or basins. So here there is land, isn't it? There is also present, land is also there, which is not visible to us, but this land is there. So that is why oceans bases will also come under this lithosphere. I hope you understood. So all the oceans of the world are connected with one another. See, all these oceans are connected with one another. Suppose here this is the land, isn't it? This is the land mass. You can see this is not visible as there is what? There is water. But these are been connected. Why? See, because here this is the land is there, isn't it? So through this land, all the ocean belt, through this ocean belt, the other land mass are also all connected, okay, of the earth. So look at the map of the world which is given here, figure 5.1. Are all the landmass connected with one another? So you can see the map and you can observe very carefully, okay? You also open up the map and you observe it very carefully, okay? And the level of sea water remains the same everywhere. And one more thing, the level of the sea water, okay, this level of this sea water remains same everywhere. And elevation of land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0. See, this is the sea, isn't it? This is the sea here, and this is the ocean belt. See, this is the ocean belt deep down, the ocean land, you can say, okay, ocean belt or ocean bases. So whenever you are measuring anything on the landmass, so you will measure from this sea level. This will be the 0 point. This will be taken as what? The 0 point. From here you are not going to measure from here, you are going to measure from the here. This is the sea level. Here the land is here, so whatever it is here, for example the Mount Everest, so from here you will only measure its height. You will not measure under the sea, from under the sea, only from the sea level. Okay, this is the sea level. So here the given this map, okay, world map, we are also going to examine this. Okay, so before that let us see here. So the highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, is 8,800 and 4,800 meters above the sea level. See, above the sea level, as I have told you here. Let us make again. So this is the sea, this is the ocean, let us say. Okay, this is the water, this is the landmass. So from this level, the Mount Everest here, Mount Everest over here, isn't it? So its height is been measured as 8,848 above the sea level. I hope you've understood. So from here, okay, the greatest depth of 11,022 meter is recorded at Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. See, again the deepest depth. The deepest depth means, see, as we know that under the sea there is a land, isn't it? So deepest depth. See here, let us again draw one more thing. Once this is the land here. Okay, this is the, and this is the Pacific Ocean. It is in the Pacific Ocean, and this is known as the Mariana Trench. Okay, this is one of the deepest deepest portion of the earth. Okay, the deepest portion of the earth is present where? Is present in this Pacific Ocean, and its name is Mariana Trench. See here, this is very deep. Okay, and so for example here, if you just for example, just imagine when you take out this Mount Everest. Okay, it is 8,848 meters, isn't it, above the sea level, and this is more, isn't it? This depth of the sea is more, depth of this Mariana Trench is more. That means if you take out Mount Everest and if you bring here upside down, this Mount Everest will be all submerged inside this depth. It is that much depth. Okay, it is that much deep. So this is the deepest greatest depth of the earth, which is where? Which is in the Pacific Ocean, name as Mariana Trench. Okay, so could you imagine that the depth of a sea is much more than the highest point? See, this depth of the sea is much more than the highest point. Highest point is which? 8,848, and this depth is 11,022, isn't it? So if we bring the Mount Everest and if we submerge here, it will be all submerged over this trench. That is why it is the deepest platform. Okay, deepest depth, in greatest depth of the earth. So now let us see about the continents under this lithosphere. Okay, there are 7 major continents. These are separated by large water bodies. See, we have 7 major continents. Okay, and these are being separated by large water bodies, large oceans. So these continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. So these are the 7th continent. So you go through the map and you notice which one of it is the greatest part. Okay, so and the greatest part of this continents, it lies in the northern hemisphere. See, let us see here in this diagram, in this figure. See here, we have learned in our second chapter, isn't it, about the parallels of latitudes and longitudes. So here the equator is run, this is the equatorial line. Okay, this is the equatorial line over here, and this is the Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer. And see, from the equator, this portion is the south pole, southern hemisphere, and this is the northern hemisphere, north pole, isn't it? So you see, majority of the continents, it all lies where? In the northern side, isn't it, northern hemisphere. So this is what they are talking about. Okay, I hope it is clear. See, majority, and here one more thing, they will be it is written there in Africa. So this is the African continent, isn't it? This is the African continent, and you will see all of the parallels of latitudes passes through this Africa. That is, first is the Tropic of Cancer, isn't it? Tropic of Cancer. See here in India also it passes, isn't it, here? So it passes through Africa, and equatorial line is also there, isn't it? Equatorial line is also passes over Africa, and these are all imaginary line. Okay, and these Tropic of Capricorn also passes through Africa, and half portion of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere and half portion of Africa lies on the southern hemisphere. Okay, see, it is given in your book and we have already seen here, okay, in the map given. So we have observed, isn't it, that all the greater part of the land mass lies in the northern hemisphere, and Asia is the largest. Okay, Asia is the largest among them all. Asia is the largest continent. It covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. It is very much large. See in the figure also, if you see, Asia is the largest. You see and observed. Okay, the continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. Okay, it lies in where? Eastern hemisphere. For example, this is the earth, let us make, okay, this is the equatorial line, isn't it, and this is the north pole, this is the south pole, and let us divide here, this is the eastern part and this is the western part. So this Asia, it lies over here, eastern hemisphere. Okay, and the Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. So through this continent, here Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. Here this is the Tropic of Capricorn, this is the 0° equator. Okay, Asia is separated from Europe by Ural mountain on the west, and the combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called the Eurasia. So this Asia and Europe, it is nearby. Okay, both this Asia and Europe, here this is here the Asia is over here. Let us just suppose this is the Asia and this is the Europe, and both of these continents are separated by why? Separated by what? Their natural barrier. Okay, their natural barrier is what? These mountains, Ural mountains. Okay, the mountains are over here and this has been separated. This Asia and Europe, this Asia and Europe is been separated by this mountain range, that is the Ural mountains. Okay, on the western side, here on the western side, and combined of these two continents, they have given the name known as Eurasia. Okay, Europe and Asia. I hope it is clear. So this acts as a natural barrier, or you can say natural boundary, okay, between Asia and Europe. So Europe is very small. Okay, if you see, observe in the map also, it's much smaller than Asia, and the continent lies west of Asia. See, this is Asia and this is the western part, isn't it? This is the Asia and this is the western part. So here Europe lies here, so western part of Europe, Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it. See here, in the upper portion we have the Arctic Circle and down we have what? Antarctic Circle, isn't it? So here Arctic Circle passes through this Europe. Okay, and it is bound by water bodies on 3 sides. So you can see in the map and you can locate it. So here all the in this Africa, it is by in the 3 sides of its coastal areas. Okay, it is all bounded by what? Bounded by water bodies. For example, like Mediterranean Sea, okay, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean. Okay, it is all bounded by these water bodies. So next, let us see about the Africa. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. The equator 0 latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. We have observed already, isn't it, in the figure. And a large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. So it lies a large part lies in the northern hemisphere, and lesser portion lies in the southern hemisphere. So you will when you see the figure which you have already located, you will find that it is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, Equator and the Tropic of Capricorn passes. We have already seen, isn't it? Both the Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Tropic of Capricorn passes through which continent? Through Africa. So these questions are very much important, especially though for those who are preparing for these exams, okay, competitive exams. And here Africa also have the largest desert, that is the Sahara Desert. Okay, the world largest hot desert is located in Africa, and this continent is bound on all sides by oceans and seas. So this Africa is also bounded by all oceans and seas. So, and again, when you look at the world map, you will notice one more thing, that is the longest river. This is the longest, not largest. Okay, let me clarify, this is the longest river, because largest river is the Amazon river and longest is the Nile river. Okay, flow through Africa. So this longest river Nile, this also flows through which continent? Through Africa. Suppose this is Africa, let us just assume. Okay, this is assume. So here in this portion here, this river Nile flows. Okay, Notice where the equator, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn passes on the map. So we have already noticed this. Both all these lines, imaginary lines, that is the parallels of latitudes, passes through this Africa. That means in Africa you will find all the heat zones, major heat zones, isn't it? So next we have North America. It is the third largest continent of the world, and it is linked to South America by a very narrow strips of land called the Isthmus of Panama. So here this North America and South America is divided. Okay, it has been separated. It is a different continent, isn't it? But it has been connected with a very narrow strip, which is known as isthmus. Isthmus is see, it is given here, like, let us see. First let us read out and we will continue. The continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. 3 oceans surrounds these continents. Okay, so these in this map, let us go into this map and let us observe once more. Okay, North America and South America. See, it lies in North America completely lies on the northern hemisphere. South America completely lies where? In the southern hemisphere, isn't it? So here these two countries are connected by what? By isthmus, isn't it? That is Isthmus of Panama. Here this narrow strip. Okay, narrow strip, this one. And what does this strip isthmus means? It is a narrow strips of land. Okay, it is land, not water. This here you will find land joining these two landmass. So this narrow strip is joining this North America and South America, and this is known as isthmus. Okay, and another joining is there, that is known as the straits. Okay, let us read about that also. They will come here. Here, see, we have completed this North America. See, isthmus is a narrow strip of landmass joining two land masses. See here, this is the North America, this is the South America, and here this is the isthmus. This is a landmass, narrow, which is very small, isn't it? So that is why narrow, and this is joining both North America and South America. So this is known as isthmus. And another we have straits, that is in India, isn't it? Strait, which is joining India and Sri Lanka, but this is narrow passage of water. Okay, strait are known as passage of water, and isthmus is known as passage of land. Okay, connecting two large water bodies like seas and oceans. See here, we have Indian Ocean over here, isn't it? Here Bay of Bengal is here, Arabian Sea is here. So these seas are connecting Sri Lanka and India by with this strait, isn't it? The narrow strait is there. So that is known as strait is known as a passage of water bodies, isn't it? Water bodies connecting two large water bodies, and isthmus is narrow strip of land joining two large land masses. I hope it is clear. So name the strait between India and Sri Lanka. How can you name it? It is the Palk Strait, isn't it? Palk Strait. So next we have South America. South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere, which two oceans surrounds it on the east and the west. See, South America, it's entirely, see, from the name itself also we can say, isn't it? It entirely lies where? It lies in the southern hemisphere. Okay, it lies in the southern hemisphere, and there are two oceans in the east and the west. Those two oceans are which oceans? Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Oceans. Okay, and the Andes, that is the world's longest range mountain, runs through this land from north to south. See, like in India we have the Himalayan range, isn't it, in the northern side, in the northern portion. So just like that in South America also, here there is this mountain. Okay, there, here, from here, this mountain range, longest, largest, tallest and largest, it is highest, it is in the Himalayas, isn't it? That is the Mount Everest. But here there are mountain ranges, that is from north to south. Here it is running. Okay, long, it is very long. These are the longest mountain range, and these range are known as Andes. Just like in India we have the Himalayas, here they have Andes. Here this is the mountain range, longest mountain range, Andes. Okay, that is from running from north to south. And South America has the world's largest river, that is the Amazon River. Okay, it has the Amazon River over here, so it is the largest river. So next we have Australia. Australia is the smallest continent, okay, that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. If you see the map, you will see Australia, it lies entirely on the southern hemisphere, and it is surrounded on all sides by oceans and seas, and that is why this is also known as island continent. This Australia See, let us see in this figure, it is surrounded by oceans and seas on all sides. That is why it is known as an island continent. Okay, see here. Australia, see, it is the smallest size also, you can see, isn't it, as Asia is the largest and Australia is the smallest here, and it's all surrounded by oceans here, over here, isn't it? It is all surrounded by oceans and water bodies, others or seas. So that is why it is known as island continent, and it is the smallest continent, and it lies in where? In the southern hemisphere. Next we have Antarctica. See, in Antarctica there is no human settlement, okay, no permanent human settlement. Why? Let us see the reason here. Antarctica completely lies in the southern hemisphere. Completely in the southern hemisphere, is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent, as it is located in the South Polar region. It is permanently covered with thick ice sheet, and there are no permanent human settlement. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. India also has research station there, and its names are Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. See, Antarctica, it entirely lies where? In the South Pole. And in South Pole, as we know, life is not possible, because see here, Antarctica is over here, okay, here this is the South Pole, and because they get very lesser amount of heat from the sun, and during winter it becomes impossible for these humans who are staying over there, who are doing their research studies, okay, it is also impossible for them to stay during winter. So only during summer times they will come, but during summer also it used to be very, very cold. Why? Because entirely it has been covered with thick ice sheets, okay. Glaciers, you will find glaciers over here. So that is why no permanent settlement is here, okay, no permanent human settlement is here, because life is not possible into very cold also. In a very cold region also it is very difficult to survive, isn't it? So that is why only various countries have their research center, like they are studying, okay, they are studying, and they have research station, like they are researching more about this Antarctica, okay, about its resource, about its various other things, okay, they are trying to find. And our country India, it has also two stations, that is Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. So this was all about the continents that we have studied under which portion? Under lithosphere, okay. Next we have the other portion, the other domain of the earth, that is the hydrosphere. The earth is called the blue planet. See, we know the earth is known as the blue planet. Why? Because more than 71% of the earth is covered with water and 29% with land. See, about the land which we have just studied, that is about the continents, it covers only 29% of it, okay. More than 71% is all covered by the water, and this hydrosphere consists of water in all its form. We are talking about all the water, okay, all its form of water, as running water in the oceans and rivers, in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water, and the water vapor in the atmosphere, all comprise the hydrosphere. So hydrosphere means water, isn't it? So under hydrosphere, when we are talking about hydrosphere, it consists of all types of water which is available, which is present on the earth, that is in the form of oceans, rivers, lakes, ice or glaciers, or underground water. See, and underground water, mostly this ice in the glaciers and this underground water, mostly they are fresh water, isn't it? And we have only very small amount of fresh water available, despite of these major portion of our earth is covered with water, and we call it a blue planet. More than 97% of the earth water is found in the ocean, and it is too salty for human use. So this is the reason, okay. So among this water also, more than 97% of the earth is on the oceans, which is not fit for human consumption. Because why? Because it is very salty and we cannot directly consume this water. And a large proportion of the rest of the water is in the form of ice sheets and glaciers or under the ground, and a very small percentage is available as a fresh water for human use. See here, ocean, this is the ocean, isn't it? This is the ocean, and only this portion, that is 97.5% is the ocean, which is not fit for human consumption, and among this also only 2.5 is the fresh water. So hence, like despite of being blue planet, okay, despite being a blue planet, we face a shortage of water. Why? Because we have a very small amount of fresh water present, that is almost 2.5 only out of 100%, isn't it? Out of 100%, we have only 2.5% of the water as fresh water which we used to consume. And one day it has been said that there's ground level of water, groundwater is also, its level is decreasing and decreasing, because we are been pumping it through tube well and various other things, isn't it? And we are draining it. That is why it has been advised us to save water, isn't it? Save water, otherwise there will be major shortage of water, and so many places are already facing it. So now let us see about the oceans. Okay, under hydrosphere we will talk about the water. So about in the water we'll see about the major oceans of the world. So oceans are the major parts of the hydrosphere. They are all interconnected. So these oceans are also all interconnected. Okay, the oceans waters are always moving. See, water, it is never stationary, isn't it? It is always on the move. Whenever you see in the river or any seas or any ocean, you always observe water is always moving. And whenever you go to the beach, there are waves, isn't it? It is coming and going. So they are always on the move. So the three chief movement of ocean water, these are important. Okay, the wave, the tides, and the ocean current. So regarding this also in detail you will learn in your higher class. As for now, I'll just tell you about the basic things. Okay, like the wave, we have the wave, water wave. When you are going in the beach, suppose this is the beach and you are standing here, isn't it? The sands are over here and the water used to come and go, isn't it? It used to come and go. That is known as the wave. This is one kind of movement. Okay, and another is the tide. So this is the rhythmic rise of water into high level and low level. There are high level rise tides and low level tides. Okay, during full moon it used to be said that there used to be high level, and no moon there used to be low level of tide. So this is the rhythmic rise of water. Okay, high level to low level, that is known as what? Tides. And third is the ocean current. Okay, this ocean current is also the displacement of water from one place to another place. So suppose this is one portion of your earth, okay, and here there are oceans, Pacific oceans and Atlantic oceans, it is here, isn't it? So when the water of this Atlantic Ocean goes into Pacific Ocean, and again it goes into this northern side of Pacific Ocean, and again it comes here. So this movement is known as what? Ocean current. Okay, current doesn't mean here those electric current. The displacement of water from one part to another part, that is known as the ocean current. So these are the movements of water. So now let us see the 5 major oceans are Pacific Oceans, Atlantic Oceans, the Indian Oceans, Southern Oceans, and the Arctic Oceans in order of their size. That means Pacific is the largest, second is the Atlantic, second largest, Indian is the third largest ocean, and this is fourth and this is fifth. So the Pacific is the largest ocean. It spread over 1/3 of the earth. It is very large. Okay, it spread over 1/3, and Mariana Trench, we have just discussed about it, isn't it? The deepest part of the earth lies in the Pacific Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean is almost in circular in shape. So this Pacific Ocean, it is in circular in shape. So Asia, Australia, and North and South America surrounds it. Okay, this is surrounded by these continents. So look at the map and you can find out more about this continent around the Pacific Ocean. You open up the map and you observe it. Okay, or let us see here, let us move on to the map and let us see about this Pacific Ocean. See, this is the Pacific Ocean, isn't it? Here entirely this is all what? Pacific Ocean, and here you have your Atlantic Ocean, and here the Southern Ocean is here. Okay, and here the Indian Ocean is over here, Pacific Ocean is here also. It is all surrounded here. See, this major portion, it is on a circular shape, and these North and South America, both they are surrounded, isn't it? And Asia is also surrounded by Pacific Ocean, and Australia is also surrounded by Pacific Ocean. See here, Pacific Ocean and Pacific Ocean, isn't it? Okay, next, the Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world. It is S-shaped. So this Atlantic, it is which shape? It is S-shaped. Okay, it is flanked by the North and South Americas on the western side. Okay, here in the western side there is North and South America, North America and South America on the western side, and Europe and Africa in the eastern side. So here Europe and here Africa on the eastern side. So this western side and here eastern side. So it is in this mid here like this. It is in a S shape. The coastline of Atlantic Ocean is highly indented. This is important. Okay. This irregular indented coastline provides ideal location for natural harbors and ports. From the point of view of commerce, it is the busiest ocean. See, it means that indented means these coastline of these Atlantic Ocean, it is not smooth. Otherwise coastlines are smooth, isn't it? And here there is a natural you can say natural barrier over here, just like depression like this. Okay, it is in the shape of like this, so it becomes smooth. Okay, whenever it becomes smooth for locating such as natural harbors and port. For example, ship will come and they will just park over here in this portion. Natural depression is already there. Okay, natural construction is already there, you can say. Otherwise coastline used to be straight and you need to construct, isn't it, to make a port. You have to construct this area, you have to make waters, but here it is already naturally indented, highly indented. So that is why it is suitable for natural harbors and ports. And this area, this is all surrounded by North America, South America, Europe and Africa. So that is why it is the busiest from the point of what? From the point of trading. Trading happens because it is surrounded by 4 countries, isn't it? 4 continents, not countries, 4 continents. And under that continent so many countries are there. So that is why it is also one of the busiest ocean. And because of its natural indented, highly indented area, it makes it more suitable for natural harbors and ports. So the Indian Ocean is the only ocean next we have after a country, that is India. The shape of the ocean is almost triangular. So this Indian Ocean, that is only ocean which is named after our country, that is India. You should feel proud, okay, for this. So in the north it is bound by Asia, and in the west by Africa, and in the east by Australia. So this Indian Ocean, okay, is in the northern side. It is bound by Asia. Okay, here let us say this is Asia. Okay, in the northern side this is the Indian Ocean. Here we have our India and it is under Asia. Okay, so this is all Indian Ocean. Okay, so here in the north it is bound by Asia, in the west by Africa. Africa is over here, isn't it? And in the east by Australia. Australia is over here. So it is surrounded like that, in that way. Okay. So the Southern Ocean, next we have the Southern Ocean, encircles the continents of Antarctica, extends northward to 60 degrees south latitude. So the Southern Ocean, it lies entirely on the southern portion here, okay, here in the southern area, and it lies encircles the continent of Antarctica. Okay, in this Antarctica portion here it lies there, and it's extended towards till 60 degree south, 60 degree latitudes, okay, towards the south. We have till 66 degree, isn't it? Here 66, we have 66 and a half if you remember. So 66 half and 66 half. So here it lies over here, okay, the South Ocean, it lies completely over here. Next we have the last is the Arctic Ocean, is located within the Arctic Circle. And where is Arctic Circle? Over here, isn't it? And surrounds the North Pole. It is in the North Pole. It connects with the Pacific Oceans by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait. So here again it is connected with which continent, which ocean? With Pacific Ocean, with a narrow strait, that is the water strait, isn't it? Water bodies, isn't it? 2 water bodies which we have learned strait. So that strait is known as what? Bering Strait. And it is bound by northern coast of North America and Eurasia. Eurasia means both Europe and Asia. So this is bound by both northern coast of North America and Eurasia, Europe and Asia. So with that we have completed our water bodies. So we have completed the second domain, that is hydrosphere. We have completed lithosphere and we have completed hydrosphere. So last we have what? Atmosphere. So now let us see about the third domain of the Earth's surface, that is the atmosphere. Okay, so the Earth is surrounded by a layer of gas called the atmosphere. All of us know, isn't it? So this thin blanket of air is an integral and important aspect of the planet. It provides us with the air we breathe and protect us from harmful effects of sun rays. See, This atmosphere is very much important, and under atmosphere you have oxygen, which is which is necessary in order to live. We inhale oxygen and we give out what? Carbon dioxide, isn't it? And oxygen comprises 21% of the atmosphere. Okay, so this is very essential, and this is a thin layer of blanket, you can say, okay, in this earth which we have, and it is a very integral and very important aspect of our planet. Why? Because air that we breathe in, it is only present under this atmosphere, and it protects us from harmful atmosphere also. And see, and we have 5 layers of atmosphere over here, okay, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. And between this troposphere and stratosphere we have one more layer, that is the ozone layer, okay, ozone layer, and it is protecting us from ultraviolet radiation of the sun, which is very harmful for us. And because of global warming and because of pollution, there is already a hole in the ozone layer as well, isn't it? But this ozone layer is protecting us. If there were no ozone layer, then what will happen? We will suffer from so many diseases, especially related to skin. And this air, this atmosphere, it also protects us from various harmful effects of sun rays as well, apart from this ultraviolet rays. And the major layer which protects us is the ozone layer. Okay, so the atmosphere extends up to a height of about 1600 kilometers, that is from here to here, okay, 1600 kilometers. So and the atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on composition, temperature and other properties. So these layers start from the earth's surface, are called the troposphere, the lowest, isn't it, which is in the earth's surface. This is the troposphere. Then the stratosphere, here stratosphere is the portion where you will see flights and all flying, okay. And mesosphere, okay, here mesosphere, and thermosphere and the exosphere. In thermosphere you will see mesosphere, and thermosphere you will see in exosphere you will see satellites and all. They used to go into this layer and they used to launch the satellite, okay. And in mesosphere you will find the radioactive frequency to activate radio. You will see, you will learn more detail, okay, about these on your higher classes. So here they have only mentioned that there are 5 layers of atmosphere, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So the atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. See, 99%, which makes up 99% of clean dry air. That is, nitrogen is about 78% and oxygen is about 21%. And other gases like carbon dioxide, argon and other comprises only 1% by volume. So majority of the gas that we have in the air is nitrogen, isn't it? And apart from that, oxygen, which is necessary. And we give out carbon dioxide, isn't it? Carbon dioxide, it traps heat also, and it makes the earth warm. But if the volume of this carbon dioxide increases, which is increasing, and because of which there is global warming, okay. So oxygen is the breath of life, while nitrogen helps in the growth of living organisms. So this is the oxygen is the gas which we used to breathe, which is required to inhale, isn't it, to live. And nitrogen helps in the growth of living organism. So carbon dioxide, though present in minimum amount, is important as it absorbs heat radiated by the earth, so thereby keeping the planet warm. It is also essential for the growth of plants. So this carbon dioxide is also essential for the growth of plants as well, and its role is to keep the planet warm. See, the sun is giving its ray, isn't it, heat ray, and the sun is the only ray which is providing us with heat, isn't it? So this carbon dioxide, it used to trap, because it only during the daytime we used to get the heat rays, isn't it? And during the night time there is no sun, so if there was no carbon dioxide, then it will not trap heat and it will feel cold. It will begin freezing point. But because of these sun rays, what happens, because of these because of this carbon dioxide, as it is trapping some amount of heat, and so during the night time also, because of that, it is making the planet warm, okay. So that is why it is essential for keeping the planet warm, and also essential for the growth of plants. So this density of atmosphere varies with height and it is maximum in the sea level. So this density of atmosphere is maximum in the sea level and decrease rapidly as we go up. So you know the climbers experience problem in breathing due to decrease in density of air. See, we often hear, isn't it, a mountaineer or anyone who is going little higher in the air, there is even when you are flying also, isn't it, when in an aeroplane, not with your wings, with your aeroplanes, when you are in the aeroplane also, there used to be the density of the air used to be very low, okay, and because of that many of the people used to suffer from breathing problem also, and they have to carry oxygen cylinder to be able to breathe at the high altitudes. So it is maximum in the sea level and it decreases as it goes above in the sky. So the temperature also decreases as we go upwards, isn't it? The temperature also decreases when we go upward. The atmosphere exert pressure on the earth. Atmosphere exert pressure on the earth. This varies from place to place. Some areas experience high pressure and some areas experience low pressure. So this atmosphere exert pressure also onto the earth, and it depends upon the place. Some area will experience high pressure and some area will experience low pressure. And air moves from high pressure to low pressure. This is important, okay. Air move from high pressure to low pressure, and moving air, it is known as wind, okay. Moving air, it is known as what? Wind. So with this we have completed this atmosphere, and under atmosphere we will see one more another domain, that is biosphere, the domain of life. See here in through this picture it will be clear, okay. All the major domain you will find here. Atmosphere is here, hydrosphere is here, and lithosphere is here. So all together, all this together, what makes? It makes a biosphere. It makes life possible on earth. So the biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between the land, water and air. We have already seen, isn't it, in the introduction part. It is this zone that life that is unique to the planet. It is in this zone that life that is unique to the planet exists. There are several species of organism, okay. There are so many species of organism on earth, isn't it, that varies in size from microbes and bacteria to huge mammals, and all the living organisms including humans are linked to each other and to the biosphere for survival. We are all linked with each other. There is a chain, isn't it, chain of circle, and we are all linked to each other, including from a microbes, okay, small size organism microbes to bacteria to huge mammals. And this organism in the biosphere may be broadly divided into plant kingdom and animal kingdom. So the three domains of the earth interact with each other, affect each other in many ways, in some way or other. See, these three domain, that is the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, this interact with each other, isn't it? And when this interact with each other, it makes the life possible, and there is a biosphere. And under biosphere also, it is broadly divided into plant kingdom and animal kingdom, and this plant kingdom and animal kingdom are all connected with one another. For example, cutting of forest for fulfilling our needs of wood, isn't it, forest area, or clearing land for agriculture may lead to fast removal of soil from the slope. Similarly, earth's surface may be changed due to natural calamities like earthquakes. For example, there could be submerge of land, and as happened in the case of tsunami recently. So when we are exploiting more and more, when we are cutting more and more trees, we will affect ourselves only, okay, this plant kingdom and animal kingdom. So when this we belong to this animal kingdom, isn't it, and when we cut more and more trees, when we clear more and more land to make more buildings, we are hampering the natural balance, isn't it, the natural balance of this earth. And that is why we are facing so many problems already. The problems of the first problem is problems of global warming, and other like natural calamities, heavy rain, isn't it, or droughts or earthquake. So all these are because of our over exploiting the nature. And here we have already seen that the part of a land is already submerged in case of tsunami recently in the Andaman and Nicobar, which was on the year 2006, isn't it, and were submerged under water. And discharge of waste material into lakes, and we simply throw waste material into lakes, isn't it, especially the factories and all, they discharge all their waste materials into the lakes, isn't it, and that also cost, and which is unsuitable for human use. And we already have only 2.5% of fresh water, and that also we are discharging the waste material into the lakes and rivers, making water unsuitable for human use. And it also damages other forms of life, not only our life, the other organisms which are the sea organisms. We are damaging the sea organisms when you are discharging waste material into the lakes, rivers and water. And emissions, especially from industries, the pollution, isn't it? Thermal power plants and vehicles pollutes the air, and that is the carbon dioxide is an important constituent of air, but increase in the amount of carbon dioxide leads to the increase in global temperature, and this is termed as global warming. See, carbon dioxide is necessary as it traps the heat, isn't it, into the planet, into the earth. But in case these gases, in case this gas amount of gas of this carbon dioxide increases, what will happen? There will be increase in the temperature. Okay, it leads to the global temperature, and which becomes global warming, and which we are facing currently, isn't it? So there is thus a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain balance of nature between the domains of the lithosphere, atmosphere and the hydrosphere. So we should use all the resources of the earth into a balance form. We should maintain a balance. Like for example, when we are cutting trees for our for needs of like woods or to make something, then when we are cutting one trees, we have to plant 10 trees. That is, in this way we are going to balance, and we should not throw natural waste, okay, into these rivers, lakes and ponds, because it is making it dirty, and we should not pollute the air as well. Okay, like by minimizing the use of industries, thermal power plants, and also by instead of vehicles you can use bicycles, isn't it? It doesn't pollute the air. So in this way, if we do not if we are not using it properly, then we are exploiting, and we are exploiting our life, our generation, our future generation especially. Okay, they will not have, already the air is very much polluted, and the air that we breathe in is already very polluted. We don't have a very clean air, isn't it? And if this continues, then what will happen in future? There will be no clean oxygen left for the future generation. So for that purpose, we have to use it very wisely. Okay, and we should not go against the nature. We should always try to maintain the balance of nature, so that these domains of their nature remains balanced. So with this we have completed our chapter. Okay, so I hope you have understood and understood about the major domains of the earth. Okay, this was a very helpful chapter, and this will help you on, because on your next class also you are going to, in your higher class, it is 7 and 8, 9, 10, you are going to learn about these domains only. So this is the only foundation part. If you understood this foundation properly, it will be easier for you to understand the other levels of the chapters. So before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well, so that you never miss any update. Share my videos with your friends and families, okay, so that it will motivate me to make more videos. Thank you again for watching. See you again in the next class.